Okay, today we are going to talk about chronic fatigue and miracle cures. So, the first thing that we need to cover is there is no miracle cure or even one single cure for chronic fatigue. What works for one person may not work for another. Everybody is so different, and everyone's journey towards getting chronic fatigue is usually so different as well, that the way you're going to heal from it will be different, and there is no single tablet or miracle that is going to heal you overnight. It's just really not that possible. You probably have read some stories that there are a few people that they had one session of, say, like reflexology, or they started doing numerology or something like that, and it healed them and cured them overnight, which is great if that happened to that person. But unfortunately, for the majority of people who suffer from chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, fibromyalgia, it is a very slow journey towards getting better. And sometimes you don't even know that you're healing, but you are. And it can feel like you're making no progress at certain stages of the condition. But what I do want you to know, and what I want you to be rest assured in, that recovery is possible. Your doctor may say it's not possible, or you're going to have this condition for the whole of your life, or you're never going to work again. What I say is, do not believe any of these things, because I've proved it, and there are countless of stories of other people who have had chronic fatigue far worse than I ever had it, where they've been bedbound and for years, and made changes to their lifestyles and recovered. So the two things to keep in mind is, stop searching for a miracle cure, because one, this puts a lot of stress on the body as well. This continual searching for this one thing that is going to help you and cure you, it's just going to elevate your stress levels, and then you're going to try different techniques and different therapies, and then you're just going to get disappointed when they don't work. But what it is that is going to work for you is a whole accumulative approach of healing, changing lifestyle, integrating new ways of eating, new exercise methodologies, new relaxation techniques into your day-to-day routines. That is what is going to get you well. And also, the biggest thing is your mind. Your mind is the biggest driver that you can concentrate on, that is going to help you get better from this condition. If you can reduce that monkey mind where it's literally racing from one thought to another, you're always worrying, or you're always in a negative thought spiral, then every time you have a thought like that, it sends signals to your body that there is danger and that you need to be alert, and therefore your stress levels come right back up. Now, I know this is a really daunting thing to say, that it's your mind, and I'm not saying it's the symptoms are in your mind, because the symptoms are absolutely 100% real. You're actually physically feeling these things, there's no doubt about that, but it's your mind which causes chemical reactions within the body which create these physical symptoms. So what you really need to do is have an integrative approach of healing, of looking at your diet. So can you introduce better ways of feeding yourself, much more nutritional food, much more healthy sort of vegetables, organic food if you can afford it, the best that you can buy with the budget that you have available. And maybe have a look at things like removing things like the wheat and the sugar, and sort of like white floured products that your body finds it difficult to digest, because all of those are stressors for the body, and obviously you want to keep stressors down as low as possible. So diet is a good thing to have a look at. And then obviously lifestyle, you need to move away from this being frantic, whatever that may involve. So it's introducing more relaxation, introducing more calmer ways of being. So that might be introducing meditation, a daily meditation practice. It might be doing yoga or yin yoga, like I've just spoken about. It might be going for a walk, in nature, which is very relaxing and calming. So it's finding things that you can do that are just going to relax your body. And then your mind, as I said, is like the biggest factor that you need to work on. And this could be things like being aware that you're starting to go into a negative thought spiral and stopping it there and then. Having more maybe positive affirmations in your life. It doesn't mean you're never going to have a negative thought, but it's basically acknowledging the thought, letting it pass, and then carrying on with your day. It might be that you start to practice mindfulness. It might be that you are going to look into maybe CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, to help you cope with maybe negative thought patterns. It might be that you are going to start to do EFT, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping, which I have done lots and lots of tapping in my recovery. In fact, it's probably been, again, like my number one tool for helping to calm the mind. So I thoroughly recommend this. But it's finding these tools that work for you. Just because it worked for me, it might not be what you like. So you've got to find something that, one, you like, two, that you're gonna do. You're gonna like it that much you're willing to do it every day, and be consistent. Be consistent with what you're going to be doing. So be consistent with your diet changes. Be consistent with your lifestyle changes. Be consistent with your relaxation approaches, and slowly and surely you will find that you start to get better, and without putting pressure on yourself to get better, as what I've said in another video. So just to recap, there are no miracle cures for chronic fatigue. So it is an integrative approach of nutrition, of lifestyle changes, different types of exercise, relaxation, and really doing all that you can just to calm that nervous system down. So it might be that you need to look at the work that you do. If you're still managing to work, does this work, does it feel good to you? Does it make you feel stressed out all the time? Because if you are feeling stressed out all the time, then you spend a lot of your time at work. So this is going to keep your stress levels elevated. People will look at their relationships that they have with different people. Which people in your lives stress you out? Who makes you feel good to spend time with, and who is more like an energy sucker where you come away from them and you feel exhausted? These are all the things that you need to have a little look at. And I know this can seem really scary because it is changing pretty much everything that you've known in your life. And I found that created a whole heap of anxiety in itself for me, thinking, what have I got to change in my life in order for me to get better? But to be honest, nutrition changes, relaxation changes. I stayed in the same job, and it's actually quite a stressful marketing job. It's always busy. I've managed to stay doing my same job, but I changed my approach to how I worked. I changed how I dealt with the stress, which is another big thing that you can look at. If you do want to stay in the same job, in the same relationships, maybe you need to just look at how you react to certain things and question why you react that way. And I found that helped me a whole heap, and it meant that I could sort of continue with a lifestyle that I was actually really quite happy with, without having to make too many drastic changes. But I made enough incremental changes to diet, meditation, exercise, how much time I spent with people, that kind of thing. And slowly but surely, it started to work, and I started to get better. So have a think, what changes can you make? And what I would recommend is, don't try and make all your changes at once. Do small changes one at a time, get used to that change, and then move on to the next. You know, don't overhaul your diet so radically straight away, because you'll find that actually has negative impact on your body. You need to do things slowly and surely with chronic fatigue, because any big changes will impact your body, because you're probably so sensitive right now that, you know, it's going to impact upon you more than it would someone who is fully functioning and doesn't have like these problems with like their adrenals and different systems within the body. So anyway, I hope this helped, and good luck. You will do this, and I have every faith if you make the right changes, then recovery absolutely is possible.